Liam's Map. This two-time Grade 1 winner posted 6 consecutive 100-plus buyer figures, including a 1:14 in the Grade 1 Woodward Stakes, the fastest winning time in more than a decade. An $800,000 yearling, he never finished off the board in 8 starts, winning 6. In his final race, this great colt set the track records at Keeneland in the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile. All this adds up to a world-class stallion at a world-class stallion farm.
Hi, everybody. Dan Illman, Matt Burney are taking a look at Pegasus World Cup contender Kukulkan. Our Pegasus World Cup coverage is presented by Lane's End. Matt, I know a lot of people are down on this horse because he won last time out in the Caribbean Classic with only a 70 buyer speed figure. Is a 14-4-14 Mexican super horse of 2018.
Yeah, I mean, there's something to be said about winning every start that you run. But at the same time, if we're handicapping the race, you look at it and you say, from a speed figure standpoint, you know, I don't mean to be rude, but he's not within an eighth of a mile of the contenders.
He is going to be a gigantic price, a 70 buyer speed figure. And we just saw him run off the screen, and that's how he wins his races. He doesn't win his races by a neck or a nose. He beats them by 11 or 12 or 15. And I think it's certainly fair to question the quality of competition he's been facing in Mexico and the quality of competition he faced in the Clásico. He is very impressive visually winning his races, but he is going to be taking on the creme de la creme of the United States handicap crop. Horses like Accelerate and City of Light and Pattern Recognition. I mean, this horse is going to have to improve 35 points on the buyer scale to win this race.
To even be a contender, because 105 may not even be good enough to get it done. You figure if a horse like Accelerate shows up, if City of Light, if Pattern Recognition, if they run their fastest, they've all run into the low 1-teens in their career. I mean, Kukulkan has never even sniffed an 80, forget about a 70. You know, it's a difficult scenario for me to look at this and suggest to anyone. I feel like I would be a little bit irresponsible to sit here and say this is a major, major player in this race. Just the fact of the matter is he's not. I suppose if you really wanted to get brave and use him underneath, maybe you could. I just have a very difficult time sitting here with a straight face. I think it's a great story. It's nice to have a little bit of an international flair. I can't make a case for this horse.
I agree with you 100%. You really don't want to knock a perfect horse, one that's won at 5 furlongs, one that's won at a mile and an eighth, one that's won in Mexico, one that's won here in the United States, and one that wins with devastating ease in the majority of his races. But even if you think there's a complete pace meltdown in this race, it's hard to imagine him winning, even because he's probably not the best closer in the race. You've got horses like Gunnevera. You've got horses like Seeking the Soul. They probably have a more potent kick, and they've at least proven it against top horses with fast races than Kukulkan. But I'd like to see the horse run well, to be honest with you. I don't want to see him, take the worst of it. But from a wagering standpoint, what price do you think he needs to be to even consider playing him anywhere?
There is no price for me. I'm not trying to harp on this horse or really beat him down, but to me, it's just a situation where he won't have any of my money, even if he's 150 to 1. And the other thing is, you look at this in the storyline behind him, I would imagine he's going to take some money. And I say some money, maybe he's in the 40 or 50 to 1 range, but that to me is still a serious underlay. I'm with you. I hope he runs well enough. If there's 11 horses that go, if he runs 7th or 8th, I think this would be a victory. I find it very, very difficult to see that happening.
Kukulkan, a perfect 14 for 14, a Mexican super horse, winner of the prestigious Clásico del Caribe last time out at Gulfstream at a mile and an eighth, but in very, very slow time. He's going to have to really pick it up from a buyer speed figure standpoint to contend in the Pegasus World Cup. That's Kukulkan, and our Pegasus coverage is presented by Lane's End.